days, when they come to church, a lot of preaching. They preach. In fact, in the olden days, they were like 3 pastors that would come and preach on one Sunday. This one with an hours. People were willing to wait a year. But today, dance, reggae. Don't be saying the grace, God has the praise. If they bring God to test whether you need the grace. Don't be saying the grace. If they bring God to test your craziness, whether you are really crazy, will you still be crazy? Or you say, I beg, I'm not crazy, I just. We are in church to understand the person of God. He said that I may know him and the power of his resurrection. A lot of us in church don't know Jesus. So painful, so pathetic. That you know the pastor, you know the prophet, you know the bishop, but you don't know the pastor, you don't know the God in the church, you don't know the Christ in the church. So pathetic. Number 2 reason why we're in church. To have an encounter with him. We are in church to have encounters. Gone are those days where people will come to church and begin to see visions. In those days, people will get to church. After church close, some brothers will lock themselves up in the church and they pray. Church are closed, they are still praying. In those days, pastors will come to church and see brothers in church praying. But today, pastors will come to church and see brothers and sisters in the church toilet. You don't know what they are doing with it. But in those days, you will come to church. In the night, you see brothers in church. And when they today, all our brothers are online. They are online. You don't know what they are praising. It's like spirituality in this generation have died. We are carnal. We are too carnal. And there must be restoration. We must go back to those days where after service is over, people still remain in church speaking in tongues, praying for directions. In those days, pastors will preach and preach and preach and preach and preach. People were willing to listen, to hear. Today you come to church, praise worship 5 minutes, praise worship 10 minutes, preaching 10 minutes. What can you preach in 10 minutes? And they will be happy. Very cool church, very nice. We not tell. See what 5-minute message I brought. Is that 5 minutes that brought you there today? This preaching for 5 minutes, preaching for 10 minutes. How come you don't go to your lectures? And your lecturer give you 5-minute lectures, 10-minute lecture. Some of the lectures you go for 1 hour. I mean, you are there. 2 hours, you are there. But you come to church like this, you begin to say, what can be taught within 5 minutes? What can be taught within 5 minutes? So if you come to church like this, you come to church, you start to sleep. You start to sleep and say stop hours. The fact that you will never hear the word of God. You sleep. The lady met me one day, says, sir, as you were preaching, I slept. In the sleep, I saw myself in my house. And when I got to my house, I told myself I want to go and sleep. Then I now clamped my bed and slept. So she's in deep sleep now. So if she want to wake up, she have to wake up from going in her house. First she want to wake up in the morning. I said, while I was preaching, she said yes. I said, you realize when I was preaching, I was sweating? She said yes. I said, you dreamt rubbish. When she narrated the dream to me, nonsense dude. She dreamt she was acting Nollywood. You know, there are some things that don't have interpretation. In dream, you're acting Nollywood. You saw all these actors. He said, does it mean I'm going to be a star? My sister, you tell nonsense. This your dream have no interpretation spiritually. This is nonsense. We are in church to have it. Let me tell you, the reason why people don't know, are you aware that in this generation, people no longer testify, I see God. I see visions. I see God. I was caught up in it. In those days, people were caught up in trance. God be carrying people, caught them up in trance, and they begin to see things about the future. In those days, young people, in fact, in those days, we know young people by fasting. By fasting. By fasting. But today, our young men want to have six-pack, breast in the chest. You know young people in those days by fasting. He's a young man, he fasts. Fast. You know them by fasting. They were fasting machines. They were men who have time to pray. They are men who have time to seek God. And the more they seek